Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We're here with another war video. This is going to be Alliance War Season 53, Number 3, and AOH has matched up against GT40. So, we just started 2-0, and we were bound to get a absolutely brutal matchup where we had no chance to win, and that's going to be this war. We have a literal 0% chance to win because it's GT40, and we're just going to try not to die, for me personally. And that's the best we can do. So here I was just double checking that I was recording, but I forgot that on my new phone when I turn on the silent mode, it turns off game volume too. I thought it would just turn off notification sounds, but yeah, it also turns off game volume, and I play with game volume, and it helps me focus, so I definitely can't play without it. And we are on Path 7, Section 1 with Chee'Ilth on the first node. Taken this fight a bunch of times. Really, really easy with Wide Magneto. The tactic just makes it faster, but it's obviously very doable without. And we were just looking for a clean opportunity to hit an intercept, and there she plays into my light intercept. And now, basically, we don't have to take any more block damage. Well, any block damage, I guess, because I haven't taken any yet for the rest of the fight, because we can just use our tactic unblockable to get our openings, bait SP1, and that is literally all you need to do in this fight. Throw basics, never throw specials. That is why she is here, so that you just have to use basics, but it is really straightforward. So this fight is going to be a little bit slow. There's not really anything you can do about that, because I mean, there's champions you can use that deal more damage on their basics. For example, I took this fight with Hood on my alt 1 war, and it takes like 40 seconds. And it takes about a minute and a half with rank 2 wags. I mean, I guess you're comparing a rank 4 and a rank 2, but still. Like, it's still a significant difference. Just from the champion match alone. And very easy fight. I don't really have anything to say about this one, honestly. It's just pretty straightforward, and it's just going to be a little bit slow, but because my White Magneto is duped, it does give me an extra charge, and it does allow me to place 4 free fights, which is great. I think I'm going to use 2 for my own fights, 2 for other people's fights, I believe. So yeah, now we have Wong on the Aggression Fury node, and we are going to be using Hood for it. When I was given my assignments, I was told to use Shuri. The only issue with Shuri is that the energy damage is going to feed Wong's charges, so if he were to throw a heavy attack or charge a heavy attack even, he would gain more power from me having energy damage on him. So we're going to take this with Hood. It's going to be pretty straightforward. We do not have the synergy with Hood, so we have to be careful with our bullets. But the other Hood fight is one that is going to give me bullets, so I'm definitely not super concerned. And I'm also not concerned, based on who the defender is on the next fight that I'm using Hood for, I'm not too concerned about about Wong finishing the fight over a bar of power. I don't really care. Here I kind of expected that to kill. If I got a couple more crits, it would have killed, but whatever. The fight goes down really easily, and as you can see in the next Hood fight, bullets are not going to be an issue whatsoever. So let's go to our second and final Hood fight of the war on this account, and that is going to be Path 3 Sersi. So this is the encroaching stun node. Hood versus Sersi is obviously a really, really good matchup, and encroaching stun, Hood gets around it because you either have to be throwing special or you have to have invisibility up to bypass or to not get stunned by encroaching stun, because when Hood is duped, he is stun immune while he has invisibility active. So you're just going to cycle L2s. When you stagger the glancing, you are going to get some bullets back. Here we were holding off on throwing my special 2 just because I wanted to make sure that the what is it? What am I thinking? Oh, I wanted to make sure that that the invisibility would be active when encroaching stun comes around, because had I thrown the SP2 earlier, I would have had to get back to another special 2 or been in the middle of throwing a special 2 or any special attack. So we were just trying to be safe there. Here we have a Domino on the Safeguard Degeneration node where you have to alternate your combos. If you ever die in a Shuri versus Domino matchup, and it's not something horrible like Hazard Shift that Shuri's not immune to, I think it's time to rethink playing this game, because this matchup is just too easy. We're going to play it slow. We're not going to risk Domino getting to a special 3, so we're going to try to bait specials pretty early. But other than that, it's just keep up your shocks. Do not rush the fight, because that is when fights against Domino go wrong. If we get a couple degens on us, it's completely fine, because one degen actually does not deal enough damage to deal damage, because it gets out healed by willpower. So you only start taking damage when you're basically completely ignoring the node and just building up charges. So I think we're gonna go for, we could have gone for heavy there, but I guess an L1 is fine too. This Domino is going to be down to 40%. Domino, I guess I understand the placement, but it gets hard countered by Shuri so much that it wasn't the type of placement I would expect to see on this node, because while this is not one of the hardest nodes on the map, it's probably like top 15, maybe top 10. I don't know, probably around top 15 hardest nodes on the map. So if you have the right champion on there, let me be clear. So here we're just going to use an energy refill. The reason I'm using an energy refill is because I will need to I want to place my Wags pre-fight right now on Sentinel. Wow, on Sentinel, and then I will be fighting Sentinel with my alt account. So I did this right before that, obviously. So now that the Wags is on, we can go to my alt account where we have a nice 8-fight Hood War, and we are going to be taking this Rintrah on path 2. A little bit of an unconventional matchup for Hood, but as you can see, it is going to be incredibly safe. Pretty good matchup, actually, like reasonably good matchup. Rintrah on this node, you are basically just have to alternate your combos so you don't give him prowess, but it's Rintrah. So the prowess, the prowess wouldn't really be a huge deal anyways. But yeah, just play around Rintrah, bait a special 1, throw some heavy attacks. I think what we're going to be doing in this fight is we're going to be alternating doing light medium combos and heavies, just going back and forth between those two. Getting our little bursts of damage off while maintaining our bullets is probably the best way you can play this. Baiting special 1, countering with a heavy. We're not going to desperately need every last bullet in this fight, or in this war, excuse me. But you know, you can still do it. We're not going to be able to get our invisibility. We are going to still throw the special 2, obviously, for the extra bullets, but it is not going to translate into anything meaningful. And obviously neutralizing Rintrah does nothing, because unless he neutralizes you to gain power gain, you don't need to control his buffs. But the tactic unblockable, obviously going to be nice for a little bit extra damage. We'll hit some stand-up intercepts while we can. But this fight, it isn't even that long. I mean, Rintrah is a pretty tanky defender, and we're taking this down reasonably fast, at least. There, we did do 2 heavy attacks in a row, and I completely forgot. There we do 3 in a row, but because it won't activate again. So, yeah, you're fine. Here, I was considering just hitting with a medium light into heavy because it would have killed, but I figured it would probably be better to just bait out the special first, and then that heavy attack did kill. We are at 99% health with max bullets, so that's basically perfect. Next up here, we have a Black Panther Civil War, and this is going to be on the root node with the Amplify. The Amplify doesn't matter because he is not going to be gaining power from any source, or like power gain specifically, that source. But we just want to nuke as fast as we can. The one thing against Black Panther Civil War is that you will often see me applying more bullets than I need. And the reason is because if he is at more than 10 of his charges and you hit him with a heavy attack, he is going to go unstoppable. So the only time you're going to want to throw your heavy attack in this fight is when it is going to kill, because if it's not going to kill, you are going to get hit, you are going to get damage reflected onto you, and it's just not worth it. So you'll see that we're just going to keep building to L2, just keep throwing it, and then I think, yeah, right here we're going to bait it. Probably could have thrown a heavy there. It definitely would have killed, because as you can see, like, he's at 20%. Easily would have killed, but yeah, 39 seconds. Not too concerned about that fight. I wasn't worried about it. Because I knew that exact plan going in. So now we're going to be going over to path 8. There were a lot of paths that I could have taken in this war. I could have taken path 9 because Hood can do both Nova and Zola there, because you can just use your invisibility to get heavies the same way that Prowler inflicts Falter to get his heavy attacks off. And obviously he counters Hazard Shift. So, but it kind of made more sense for me to go to path 8. Again, I did not plan this war. This is just the fights I was assigned. Normally I do plan wars, but my schedule's just been a little rough recently for planning wars, so I haven't been doing it every war. I've been assisting in planning most of the wars, but not every single time. Also right there, my Fate Seal failed the power gain from Mystic Dispersion, which I didn't think was a thing, but unless this guy's not running MD at all, that's also technically possible, I guess. Maybe he's running 0 MD, but it's GT40, so I highly doubt someone would place Man-Thing without running MD, so it's probably Fate Seal failing it. Wait, he didn't gain it there either. Is this guy running 0 MD? That's wild. I place Man-Thing. Like, I have a rank 4 Man-Thing, and I place him on defense. Well, I don't have rank 4 Man-Thing yet, but I'm placing rank 3 now, and when I finish 9.2 on my alt account, he will be rank 4. He's the one I decided on. But yeah, no, that's absolutely insane that guy's placing with 0 MD when he's placing a Man-Thing. But maybe he just forgot. That's very possible. Maybe he wasn't placing a Mystic before and forgot to change his defensive setup. We get a little bit of an annoying AI here with Gorr, where he just throws that special one while I'm hard blocking, trying to get him to dash at me. And then there I don't get to take advantage of my tactic unblockable, because he just kind of dashes back and sits there instead of letting me hit him or hitting into me. And here we are just going to kill through the protection, because I don't really care enough to knock down and then throw a special, but I guess right there I could have thrown a special that ended had that heavy not killed. But now we're going to go up to node 38 Sentinel. This was really weird, because when I took it this time, it just felt so... I don't even know what the word is. It felt so incredibly slow and awkward, but when I take it in War 4, it went so smooth. And I get this is a rank 4, but that's not the difference. Like, that's not going to make the difference in this fight. I don't even know how to explain why it was just weird this time, but it just was. And when I was doing the fight, I was genuinely worried about it. And I don't know why. But... yeah, we're going to be building up to our L2, going to be baiting Sentinel Special 1, going to get this tactic unblockable just so we get a little bit extra damage on our L2, but obviously it's going to expire right before, which kind of sucks, but whatever. You just want to power steal him. You want to hit him with some combos. Obviously, he is going to get to max analysis charges, so while I did at the start of the fight, I did do some combos to give him less charges. It's not something you can avoid. It's completely impossible to fight him without giving him max charges. So we're just going to do that. And then here I think we're going to go for some more special 2s. But at this point, the fight was already over. When I take it next war, the fight was already over. So I don't really know why this is happening. but it's fine. Here I don't want a heavy attack because my invisibility went away, and I have the Strife synergy for plus 50% attack while invisible. So I think right here we're going to activate our invisibility, and then we are going to... oh, I don't know why my volume's still on. We're going to activate our invisibility, and then we are going to heavy after that. And that fight does go down. So just a little bit slow, but still very safe. We have been sending Beta Ray Bill to that fight in some BGs, even when we have Hood available. I strongly believe Hood is far superior to Beta Ray Bill for that fight, and you will see that when I take it next war, because that fight can be done in 40-45 seconds. And Beta Ray Bill is just a pointless risk to send there. But, yeah. Because if you're playing the fight in a way where the unstoppable from Sentinel's heavy becomes an issue, you're playing it so incredibly wrong that you don't even, you can't even talk to the bad matchup. You are the problem. If that's the problem in the fight, you are the problem. I promise that. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying any argument based on, oh, you have grit, you're able to stop the unstoppable. Yeah, that's not even like the 10th hardest part of that fight. Like, that's not top. I'm exaggerating. It's top 10 because there's not that many threats, but it's not a significant enough threat to send Beta Ray Bill over Hood unless your Hood player is just completely incompetent. So now we have a rank 4 almost said Sentinel again. A rank 4 Maestro. I didn't even feel the need to talk about that Medusa fight on Mixmaster because it was such a joke. But here we have rank 4 Maestro on node 45. This is just begging to be hooded. Maestro, as a defender, does absolutely nothing to stop Hood, and it's Hazard Shift. Like, I'm going to hood it. Hood counters Hazard Shift so well. There, unfortunately, we had like 4 mediums in a row that did not power steal. Here, I think we'll heavy. Yeah, perfectly timed out heavy. Yeah, we had a bunch of mediums that didn't power steal, so we were not able to keep up our L2 cycle after the first L2. But we're going to get back into it here. Actually, no, we're not. But I think we're able to heavy here, and the fight's just over. So we're chilling. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 78% health finish. Could have been a little bit better. I did notice at one point I had 5 DOT from Hazard Shift on me. So that was probably just a bunch activating back to back to back. And now we have Thanos. Rank 4 Thanos again. There was just a lot of rank 4s in this war. Rank 4 Thanos on node 47. I understand the placement of Thanos here, but if you're gonna place Thanos here, you have to expect Hood to be used. Like, Hood hard counters the node and counters the defender. I don't know what I'm doing there. I took a Thanos boss, and I think it was last war. Yeah, the war before this. I took a rank 4 Thanos boss with Hood. There, I don't know what I'm doing again. This fight is just awful. And it went so well. And I played it so perfectly. I have practiced heavy countering his heavy, so I know how to do it very consistently. And, of course, as soon as I get into this fight, my brain just fully turns off. And I don't know why, but that was just terrible. Here we have to dash back and wait because I can't hit him another time, but of course we still do. I actually don't know what was wrong with me in this fight, because if you watch last war, it went so perfectly, and I know this matchup so well, but this fight was just terrible, and I don't have any excuse. I just made the beginner mistakes over and over and over again, and at this point I've been hit 3 times. Yeah, because I've activated panic twice and I got hit by a heavy. I know that the way that you counter his heavy with your heavy is hitting in between the 2 hits. I know that's how it works. I've done it. I'm consistent at it. But my brain was just off. It was just off in this moment, and I didn't do it. So that is going to be it for the war. I don't remember what the score was, but obviously we lost because it's GT40. We are now 2-1 on the season. I have 0 deaths total on both accounts, so 0 total. And I have taken 38 fights, so I have a PSR of 38 out of 38 fights sold, or 100%, with 15 of those being on my main and 23 being on my alt. I have an active deathless streak of 46 fights, which is going to be 16 on my main and a 38 fight streak on my alt. And that is actually going to be all for today. So have a great day, everyone, and I will see you all in the next video. I do apologize for getting this one out late, but I will try to catch up by War 5. So the day War 5 comes out should be the day before War 6 starts, and then I'll be fully caught up. So I'll try to do that. That's going to be it. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.